And I want to welcome you to our summer Tai Chi class. And we're going to be practicing two forms this class. It's going to be a 5-element Tai Chi, which is about emotional healing and organ healing. And also, White Crane Spreads Her Wings, which is a long Qigong kata. And the reason I chose these forms, they're some of the first forms I learned 25 years ago. And I just wanted to share them. We don't have a lot of footwork in these forms, so we can relax with just the arm and hand movements. And when we are not worried about coordinating hands and feet, we can bring our intention and awareness in, so we can really get into the meanings behind the movements. And let's bring our awareness to our posture. So I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to be in the sunshine. And I invite you to place your feet on the ground. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, so we don't want to be, like we're watching TV here. We want to align ourselves. There's something called aligning ourselves between earth and heaven. And when we align ourselves between earth and heaven, we are connected to what's called the three treasures or two treasures. The first treasure is the energy of the earth. So we want to feel rooted and grounded and safe. And above us is the energy of the sky. And here we want to bring in the energy of heaven, that infinite potential, inspiration, and blessings. And then we smile to ourselves. And here we connect to what's called the third treasure of energy. And this is the energy of all living things. So the energy of nature. And we know that the trees give us oxygen. Plants and herbs are very healing. Animals inspire us with their beauty, animals and birds and insects. And these three treasures, so earth, life, and heaven, are external forces that we can draw upon to energize ourselves. So with our spine straight, we can imagine our roots going deep. We can imagine the crown of the head opening, so we receive the light of heaven. And the energies meet at the heart. And this is where we connect to the energy of all living things. And the first thing I'm going to talk about, we're going to spend just less than 10 minutes talking about philosophy today. But the first thing is the yin-yang theory. And we're going to be working with yin-yang. In fact, the Chinese word for yin-yang is Tai Chi. And so here we are, the yin-yang symbol. The yin, the dark, represents the earth, and the earth comes up and close to heaven. The yang energy, the light, represents heaven, and it comes down. So if you'd like, you can imagine your roots absorbing the vitamins and minerals of the earth, and we're absorbing blessings from heaven, insight, the divine, if you like. And this is a perfect yin-yang symbol. So this represents opposing forces in the universe, dark and light. Female is the darker, male is the light, hot and cold, happy, sad, fearful, fearless, opposing forces of the universe. And we deal with all these opposing forces in the universe. And of course, there's the extremes, love and hate. So where do we find balance? How do we blend these two forces, activity, stillness, wisdom, youthful exuberance? Well, we blend them right in the heart. And so we want to imagine our hearts as the yin-yang symbol. And with this class, we're going to be looking at the emotions. So if there's angry and forgiveness, happy, sad, grief or resistance and acceptance, fear, fearlessness, fear and trust, wisdom. And I'll be talking more about that. But because we are human and we have this life experience, I love this. Sometimes this is what our yin-yang symbol looks like. Maybe I have too much pain in my body, or maybe I'm too fearful. or maybe I'm too confused, or maybe I have too much stress. So when we're practicing the Tai Chi that we'll be practicing, we're going to bring these areas back into harmony and balance. And so this is what harmony and balance looks like. The reason why you see a little bit of black in the white and a little bit of white in the black is that if we didn't know what sadness is, we wouldn't know what happiness is. If we didn't know what forgiveness is, we would just be angry all the time. So there's a little bit of each opposing force in the yin yang symbol, known as the Tai Chi symbol, also known as balance and harmony. So that's my talk, and I'm sticking to it. And we will be talking about the 5 element theory as we practice, because for me, these practices are experiential. And but I am going to do a reading today. And the reading today is from a book written over 2,000 years ago. And the author is credited, and we're not sure because it's so long ago, to be a man called Lao Tzu. And the legend goes that he was the librarian in the Forbidden City, and he had access to the ancient scrolls and the ancient wisdom. He lived a good life. It was time for him to retire. And plus, he was a little tired of the palace gossip, the palace drama, the intrigues between all of the people, of all trying to get the emperor and empress's favor. So as he was leaving, he packed up his cart, and he had an ox that took him out of the Forbidden City. And he got to the Great Wall, so a little bit farther away from the Forbidden City. And there was the last gate. So there's guards at the gates of the Forbidden City. And as he was passing through, the gatesman said, "Oh, Master Lao Tzu, I know you're retiring. Do you have time to stay with me and tell me some of the knowledge that you've gleaned from being the librarian at the Forbidden City with all the ancient wisdom?" And Lao Tzu really didn't have an agenda. And he said, "Sure, I'll be there." And so he hung out with the gatesman, and he created 81 poems, or 81 sayings. And they're like little chapters in a book. And basically, it's what he learned from all of his exposure to the great texts and the ancient wisdom. And I'm going to read one today. And now you have to realize that this is over 2,000 years ago. There's many translations of this book. It's the second most widely book after the Bible. And we know that the Bible has, wow, how many different variations of the Bible is there? So and we call this the Tao Te Ching. His book we call Tao Te Ching, which translates roughly as the path to a virtuous life. And so they're just little hints, and basically it all makes sense when how to be a good person and how to get along and all of that good stuff. So this is chapter 2, and today I'm reading. This is a beautiful one, and I will take a picture of it, and I'll also send the reading out to you. The translator is Jia Fu Feng, who's a Chinese man who in the 60s and 70s, he immigrated out of China during the Cultural Revolution. And he was a teacher at Esalen Institute. So he spread this idea of Taoism and Qigong and Tai Chi. He was one of the first people to bring it to the United States. And at that time, he was dating this woman, Jane English, who is also a researcher. And so this is their version. I like this one a lot because there's interpretations. The chapters are short, but I do like the interpretation. So this is what I'm going to read today. And it goes in hand with the yin yang symbol that I was talking about a little bit earlier. Under heaven, all can see beauty as beauty, only because there is ugliness. All can know good as good, only because there is evil. Therefore, having and not having arise together. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short contrast each other. High and low rest upon each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Front and back follow one another. Therefore, the sage goes about doing nothing, teaching no talking. The 10,000 things rise and fall without cease. And what that means, the 10,000 things, it's like the busyness of life. Back then, there was maybe 10,000 details. Well, today we have millions. But the 10,000 things rise and fall without cease. Creating, yet not possessing. Working, yet not taking credit. Work is done, then forgotten. Therefore, it lasts forever. I'm just going to read a little bit of the interpretation. So you can see the opposites, high and low, short and, oops, I didn't, all of the good and evil. You can see the opposing forces of the universe. The world of manifestation is a world in which all phenomena are the result of the interplay of two opposing forces. It is wisdom to realize that everything one can see in this world has its opposite. Every force evokes and depends upon a counterforce. Distortion and illusion come from not understanding this, from affirming the good, for example, and ignoring naively, seeking to destroy that which opposes the good. The wise understand all of life amid the 10,000 things as basically a play of forces. And there's more, and I will send you the rest, but I thought that was enough for today. Let's take a deep breath as we lengthen our spine. And then bring your awareness to your body. Take a deep breath. Let's inhale, fill up your belly, fill up your chest and back. Let's hold for a moment. Notice what it feels like to be full. We're going to exhale. When you exhale, exhale through the mouth and imagine you're exhaling gray smoke, letting go of worry, stress, tension. Find that place of emptiness and hold your breath there. Let's inhale again. Let's find fullness. Hold the breath at the top. Can you become even fuller? Sip in a little bit more. Smile to your mind. And then let's empty. So feel your body deflate. Exhaling through the mouth, allowing old energy to leave your body. And imagine breathing in white mist as you inhale. So we inhale. And then exhale. So we're working already with the opposing forces. And then let's inhale again, hold the breath. There's a wonderful Taoist concept of an inner smile. So let's smile to yourself. Here you are, holding your breath on a Thursday afternoon. And then let it go and feel your body relax. Find empty. And then take a slow, deep breath. Notice the length and quality of your breath. And close your eyes. Relax your face. Notice what you see behind your closed eyes. There's usually colors, patterns. You can squeeze your eyes tight if you like, and the colors and patterns change. And then relax your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. Notice what you hear. Breathe slowly through your nose, and perhaps there's a smell that you can notice. We're turning on our senses. Bring your awareness to your mouth and roll your tongue across your teeth. Just a couple of times. And then roll the tongue the other way across the teeth. And let's gather up the saliva. Don't swallow yet. And let's all make a wish, whatever you want to wish for. Maybe it's peace of mind. And then swallow. So we ingest the wish. Notice what that tasted like. Where can you relax? Can you sense your skin? Can you sense the clothing on your skin? Can you sense the temperature on your skin? And then imagine your whole body could breathe as if you were a sponge. Inhale and draw the energy from all around you right into your heart. And with the exhale, let the exhale pass through your tissues, into your skin, and then beyond your skin. Imagine you're outside, breathing in nature from all around you. Pull in the healing energy of nature. It inspires us, it gives us that sense of awe. And then let's send the healing and love out into nature, wishing the best for our planet. One more time. Imagine your mind as a peaceful lake. There's not a ripple, there's no wind. It's reflective. And breathe it in deeply. Can you sense inner stillness? Scan your body. Where are you holding tension? Your face, your shoulders, your belly, your feet? And then smile to your body and breathe in a breath of gratitude for your beautiful and amazing body. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Go ahead and sway in your chair. Coming out, open your eyes. And good. Notice how you feel. We're next going to do a physical exercise. We're going to bring more space into our joints. And we're going to practice this seated today. Next week, we'll do it standing. But as we get older, we might wake up and feel kind of stiff. And so these are just very functional exercises that help create more space between our joints. When we're very stiff, the energy can't flow. We can't transform energy. We're kind of just stuck and stiff and in pain. So I'm going to back up so you can see me. Let me make a quick adjustment. Let's interlace our fingers together and we're going to roll our wrists. So I'm making a little figure 8 or a lazy 8, infinity sign. Waking up the wrists, we use our hands a lot. And then wake up one of your ankles. You can keep the ball of your foot on the ground or you can wiggle or make circles. And then place that ankle down. Notice the direction you're going, pause, and then go the other direction. That gets a little tricky. We all favor one way. When you're comfortable, go ahead and wiggle your ankle. And if you like, you can pick it up. And then let's shake it out. Let's move our arms, make big circles. Take a deep breath, waking up our shoulder joints. And opposite way. Good. Let's interlace our fingers, place them underneath your thigh. And we're going to wake up our knee first. So we're drawing circles on the ground with our foot. Just feeling the knee, creating more space, and then go the other way. And let's smile and thank our knees. And then we're going to wake up our hip. So bring the hip way up, let it go out to the side, down and around. Again, you can make this really big if you like. And then let's go the other way. Breathing into the hip. And good. Place that leg down. Let's go the other side. Interlace your fingers. Let's start with the knee. And then the other direction. So I like these exercises. Everything we're doing today is we can do seated or standing, but I like to show it seated. Next week we'll do standing. Let's wake up our hip joint. Breathing into the hip. And then let's go the opposite way. Good. And scooch a little forward so you can place your hands on your knees. Let's drop the chin onto the chest and pull your chin into the chest. You want to feel a stretch in the back of your neck and the shoulders are relaxed. And then let's lift the chin to the sky, look up. It's almost as if your head is resting on your back. And then let's look down again. And then let's look up. Bring your head to neutral. Look, I'm going to call this the white flowers and the yellow flowers. Let's look off to the white flowers. And then drop the chin on the chest and look over to the yellow flowers. Let's drop the chin on the chest, look over to the white flowers, and let your eyes look all the way around so we get a little eye exercise. And then drop the chin over to the yellow flowers, look behind you, stretch your eyes. And then let's look up, look over to the white flowers, chin to the chest, and again, breathe in as you look up. Exhale down. One more time this direction. And then let's reverse it. You can coordinate with the breath if you like. Inhale as you look up. Exhale down. Last one. And then give your whole body a little shake. Exhale through your mouth. Good. And then let's do a little, this is called flying goose, seated flying goose. The arms or your wings come out to the side. The back of the hands come together. And you can even lean forward a little bit. So we start to stretch the spine. And then let's roll the hands. Palms are up. And then arch to the sky. Heart is facing up. Oh, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Reach out behind you. And then feel your shoulders rotate. Sense your elbows rotating. Bring the back of the hands together. Reach out. Tuck your chin down. And then let's roll the wrists up. Arching the spine. Looking up. Reach out behind you. Arch your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And let's do one more. So you roll back on your tail. Let's really stretch. Feel your spine lengthening. Imagine lots of spaces between your vertebrae. And then let's roll the palms to the sky, reach back. And good. And lengthen your spine with a deep breath. So nice alignment, sensing earth and heaven. Nice deep breath for your body. And then an inner smile for your mind. Often I breathe in peace of mind. And then we can do little wiggles. We're about to stand up. And if you want to stay seated, that's just fine. The toes point forward. The knees are slightly bent. Let's bring our arms up to about our solar plexus. So hands, palms forward, face forward, face into your solar plexus. Your tailbone is straight down. We're realigning ourselves between earth and heaven. Let's take a deep breath and imagine you're being bathed with white light. So we're bringing that yang energy, that energy of light, of youthful energy, of activity. Let it soften your face. Let it soften your shoulders. Feel your belly soften. Feel your glutes soften. Feel your legs soften. And you should be feeling heavy. And now let's reverse it. So bringing the yin up. So we imagine our roots are absorbing the vitamins and minerals of the soil. They come through the legs, up the core. You might feel yourself rising up a little bit. The yin, which is nurturing energy, wise energy, and it rises up. So you should feel light. Let's invite the yang to flow down. So that yang, bright light of the sun, the stars, kind of pushes the darker energy out of our body. Imagine dark energy flowing out of your feet into the earth, feeling heavy like a tree. This is called Wuji or tree pose or warrior pose, lots of names. And then let's draw the yin up. So imagine water flowing up your body, flushing your body of toxins and chemicals. Reach up, let it flow out of your head, reaching towards the sky. And then let's soften, finding that yin and yang right at the heart. And good. Give yourself a little shake. Notice how your body's feeling. Hopefully you're feeling pretty loose. And we're going to transition into the Tai Chi. We're going to first start with the 5-element Tai Chi. In Chinese cosmology, they've taken what they call the 5 elements, and it's a way of understanding our universe. The 5 elements are metal, fire, water, wood, and earth. And we'll be talking a lot about this during our class. But all of these elements are associated with everything in the universe. We can compartmentalize everything, and there is a place for it. It's either maybe a wood element or a fire element or a water element. And so there's sounds and animals and tastes, colors, seasons, times of life. Everything can be compartmentalized into one of the 5 elements. So let's begin. Our feet are together. And this particular form has a very unusual opening. Let's have the weight on the yellow flower leg, and we float the foot and we float the arm, and we take a little step out. It's not a big step, so it's sit bone maybe, shifting the weight to the white flowers. We float up as if we're moving through water, and we float down. And let's stay with this for a moment, just the floating. If you want, you can lift your foot. You don't have to. You can leave the ball of your foot on the ground. And then sink into the standing leg. Let's inhale and float up. Exhale, float down. This is called walking on clouds. So just imagine walking on clouds. I like to imagine that there's a marionette lifting my wrist, lifting my knee, and then gently placing them back down. Let's do one more. Let's bring the feet together again. Align yourself between earth and heaven. Take a breath for your body. And breathe happiness into your mind. And then let's begin. Shift the weight to the yellow side. We inhale, float, and a small step out. Shift the weight, other side. And so now the feet are about hip distance. Now let the fingers float up as we rise up and we sink down. This is called pulling silk out of the cocoon. So you imagine threads of silk on your fingertips and we're drawing the yin up through our body. Let's bring it up to the head. And then we sink it down. Let's do that one more time. And then this time, have the hands meet in front of the heart. The palms connect towards each other. The first element we're going to work with is the metal element. And the metal element is associated with the lungs. Let's play the accordion. To do so, we inhale, the fingers pull apart, but imagine those threads. And exhale, there's a compression. I like to imagine my hands are around my lungs, and as I breathe, I stretch my lungs, and then I squeeze. So we coordinate with the breath. You might notice that I'm rising and sinking. So I'm playing with Tai Chi. I'm expanding, contracting, rising, sinking, inhaling, and exhaling. And in Chinese medicine, the lungs, the emotions associated with the lungs are resistance, grief, lack of inspiration, sadness. And we want to transform those energies into accepting what is. And that takes a lot of courage and dignity. So we want to accept what is. Last, play the accordion. And then the palms face down and they come across as if you're polishing a table. We bend the knees slightly, gather, bring the hands up to the lungs, roll the wrists, palms are down. And then we scoop, palms come up to the lungs. Let's inhale and exhale. And that's the movement. Inhale and exhale. So let's bring some intention. Let's gather any grief or sadness we have. Bring it to the lungs. And I like to imagine my hands are clouds that are filled with rain, and I let the rain go. I let my tears flow. Gather resistance. If you're resisting something, don't want to accept something, let it go. Let's gather and say, I accept what is with courage, strength, and dignity. We can still let sadness go. Let's gather inspiration for how are we going to move on from here. Let's do one more. And here we're going to cross our wrists. This is called embrace tiger. We embrace what is with courage, strength, and dignity. Place your palms right on your lungs and then give them a little tap. So the Chinese believe energy gets stuck. So if we find ourselves just very sad, or we know that something's going to happen and we just don't want it to happen, that's resistance. So we just tap and dislodge and then allow your hands to rest and say to yourself, I accept what is with courage, strength, and dignity. Let's come back to the mountain. So the mountain, palms face down. We're going to move on to let's do pulling silk out of the cocoon. That's a nice transition. Kind of a little flush. Take the white flowered arm and bring it across your back. The palm faces out. We take a little wider stance. The knees are slightly bent. The front hand is facing away from me. The palm is facing away. And we move into the water element. The water element is associated with the kidneys. We come across and then we scoop and then we rise up and then we turn the wrist and we come across. It's like we're scooping up water. And water, we can't hold it in our hands. It flows right out of our hands. So we scoop the water. Now we let it go. We roll the hand over. Now imagine you have an eyeball in your palm And as we come back, we observe, we gain wisdom, we see everything. We gather up fear. Fear and doubt are related to the kidneys. But the more we know, the less we fear. So we are like a tiger here, looking for the prey. Gather up wisdom, absorb wisdom. We can gather our fears, depression, lack of confidence, all associated with the kidneys. And then we bring in fearlessness, trusting all will be well. Let's do one more. So you see we're working our legs here. Let's helicopter the arms, place your other hand on your kidney, and let's do it on the other side. So the inhale, coming up, and then exhale, little squat. Gather up any depression or lack of confidence. Let it flow out of your hands. Breathe in, I am fearless. Moving slowly. We move slowly in Tai Chi. Let's do two more. Think about what you're ready to let go of and what do you need to learn that would make you less fearful. And then let that hand go back to the kidneys. I'm going to turn around and let's tap our kidneys. Let's dislodge fear, doubt, depression, lack of confidence. And that way, wisdom, trust, and knowing all will be well can come in. Place your hands over your kidneys if you can. Take a deep breath and thank your kidneys. From here, slide your hands down your body. So we're composting fear into the earth. And then fingertips heavy as you pull silk out of the cocoon. And then make a gentle fist. We're moving on to the wood element. The wood element is associated with the liver. And how this goes is we bend our knees and it's a slow motion punch. Palm is down, release. We rise up, we roll the wrist so the palm is up, and we make a gentle fist as if we're holding a little bird. And we punch. Inhale back. And notice I'm bending my legs again. Exhale, letting go. Inhale, rising up. The emotions associated with the wood element, the liver, are anger, irritation, frustration, inflexibility, and that's in your body or your heart or your mind, not listening to other people's point of view, drawing a line in the sand. It could be anger towards yourself. That's not healthy. Let it go. Release old grudges if you have any. And if you're not angry, let go of frustration of bad drivers or irritation. And if you are self-aware enough to know that you're rigid in your thinking, now's the time to release it. Let's do one more. And then we speed this up. It's almost like a locomotion. So we're going to make a sound as we exhale. Punch it away. Punch it out. Punch, 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 punch. You can make an angry face if you like. Get it out of your body. Anger feels horrible. And then we're going to start to slow it down. So we punch, release, and then we imagine a white feather coming into our hands, bringing it back in. Letting go. Rising up. Maybe it's a little soap bubble that you've caught. Let's do one more each side. Breathing in flexibility, heart, mind, body, spirit. Releasing anger. Find your fist and let's release to the earth. Bring your hands to I'll be your mirror. Bring your hands to your right side. The liver is on the right side. Go a little tap. Exhale through the mouth, dislodging any anger, frustration, irritation, inflexibility. Let it go. And then place your hands over your liver and thank your liver. Relax. Let's pull silk out of the cocoon. And now we're going to make a tiger's mouth. So tiger's mouth, and you can even have a little like snaggle tooth hanging down. But we're going to look into the mouth of the tiger. And we bring our other hand towards the armpit. I'm not touching my body. It's away. And we're moving into the fire element, which is associated with the heart. The movement's really simple here. We look through, and then the arms come down as if we're pulling energy through our body. The hand goes towards the armpit. We make tiger's mouth, and we look. Just nice, easy movement back and forth. And in Chinese medicine, the heart is associated with joy, passion, laughter, but it's also associated with hate, with sadness. So it's associated with creativity. So sometimes we get blocked. Our creative juices aren't flowing. When our creative juices aren't flowing, our hearts are not happy. So we invite the spark of creation, bringing it through the body. Now let's look for joy and happiness and bathe yourself. Imagine bringing that energy through your body, letting it go. It pushes out any hate, unhappiness. Patience is associated with the heart. Let's bring patience through our body. Let the impatience go away. Let's do one more. Looking for joy, happiness, love. And then let's embrace tiger. Bring your hands to your heart, gentle tapping. Exhale through the mouth. Let go of being stuck. Let go of being impatient. And make room for joy and passion and happiness. Place your hands over your heart. Thank your heart. Drop your hands, return to the mountain, feel heavy, rooted, connected. Let's pull silk out of the cocoon. Now, bring it up. Imagine like a big muddy geyser flowing up and out of you. And then it flows back down. The light of trillions of stars fill your body. We're going to make a little window with our thumb and first finger touch. We place the thumbs into the navel. Moving on to the fifth element, which is the earth element. It's associated with your spleen and stomach. They are both organs of digestion. Our stomach, of course, digests our food to make energy for our bodies, and our spleen in Chinese medicine digests information. How do we make sense of the world? The emotions associated with the earth element, well, there's confusion, and its complement is clarity. There's also stress, anxiety, and worry. And so we want to cultivate and transform those energies into peace of mind. Compassion for all beings is also associated with the spleen. I'm going to stand on a little bit of an angle so you can see this one. So we start to bring our window up towards the heart, and you're going to look through your window. So we're going to gaze through the window. If you need to look at me at any time, that's fine, but bring your gaze back to the window. And then bring it up towards your forehead, towards your third eye. Take a breath. And then bring the window overhead and look up. Now, if your shoulders are compromised, you can lower your shoulders a little bit. But if you can, back up a little bit. And now we're going to twist to one side. So squeeze. It's like we're squeezing out worry and stress. With the inhale, come back to center. And then we squeeze out confusion. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Squeeze it out. Inhale, peace of mind. Last squeeze, squeeze it out, wringing your spine, getting rid of stress, tension, worry, anxiety, coming back. We're going to lower our window and keep your eyes on the window. You might notice something in your window. You might see a little blurriness or a little fogginess. Just notice. And we're bringing peace of mind and clarity right back in to our bodies. The thumb rests on in the navel. Take your fingers, gently tap your left side, dislodging stress and tension. Blow it out through your mouth. Breathing in peace of mind, clarity, and compassion for yourself and all beings. Place your hands, let them rest. Thank your spleen and your stomach. Let's drop the hands. Let's pull silk out of the cocoon. And then yellow flowered arm. We lift the elbow up, the fingers to the sky. And there's a gentle little twist and push. And that hand drops down. The other elbow floats up, wrist floats up, fingers up. And there's a gentle twist and push. Let's do that with the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Well, this is a form of cloud hands in this particular Tai Chi form. So we use the clouds, we clear our minds with the inhale coming up. And let's push out self-criticism, self-judgment, self-pity. Let's do that again. How about judgment of any kind? Clear your mind. Imagine you're guiding that toxic energy of self-criticism, self-pity, self-loathing. And we start to bathe ourselves with loving ourselves, knowing we are unique and special. We bathe ourselves with our gifts, who we really are. Remind yourself you are deserving, you are beautiful, you are special, and you are powerful. Last one. Clearing and replacing. Let's embrace tiger, return to the mountain. And now we gather. So we reach into the yin, the earth, and we bring up vitamins and minerals. We bathe our bones, our blood, our muscles, our tissues. And we reach out to nature and up to heaven. And let's imagine we're gathering all the stars in the sky, all that energy. Wow. I like to imagine a star in every cell. Let's reach deep into the earth for fertile soil, new beginnings. Whatever you plant during this course, it will sprout and flourish. And let's reach up for balance and harmony, reaching for the sun and the moon, the yin and the yang of the sky. The yin is the moon, the yang is the sun. Let's reach deep into Mother Earth. She loves us so much. We draw love and healing up into the heart. And then we reach up to heaven and reach for the mystery, the infinite potential, the magic. And let's hold ourselves back into Wu Ji, where we started. Take a deep breath. Notice where you might be tight. Soften, smile to yourself. And then feel the energy in your arms. Let's inhale, rise up. With the exhale, imagine delivering this energy. We've transformed emotions to something healing, loving, and better. And we're going to close the form. So we shift to one leg. We walk on clouds. We float. Little step in, float down. Float the other foot. Bring them together. Let's reach to the three treasures: earth, life, heaven, last big gather. Imagine a beam of light, palms face down. If you bathe your mind, feel it soften, feel your face soften, feel your neck and shoulders soften, feel your core soften. Can you relax your stomach and your glutes? Can you feel rooted? With one hand, let's reach out to the past. Let's reach out to the future in the other hand. And just like water, they both flow right out. And we bring ourselves to the present moment and we honor the present moment. Give yourself a little shake. So that's the 5 element Tai Chi. And we're going to be going over that. And by the end of it, it'll just be a beautiful flow. I won't be talking as much. And it's still, we will be doing each movement 3 times. But that's that. So I imagine you have questions. We can go over them. And I'm going to be sending out a chart I sent you a very, very basic chart with the emotional components of the organs and the elements. I'm going to send another one that goes in a lot deeper. You know, people say, well, where is shame, or where is guilt, or where is whatever? So it'll be a lot more clear. Bring our feet to about hip distance apart. And we're going to begin some crane. Before we go into the crane spreads her wings, let's do some flying crane. So you sink into your knees and you float your wings up, fingertips to the earth, and then fingers to the sky. And there's a sink. Let's do that 2 more times. Big inhale. Now imagine you're a beautiful crane. We have webbed feet, so that helps with balance. And what I love about the crane, well, there's many things I love about the crane. Shift the weight to the yellow leg and then float your heel up. We practice crane in summertime, and the summertime is the element of fire. This actually will cool us down. And there's several animals associated with the fire element. This one, phoenix, eagle, which we'll be practicing also. But interestingly, they're all birds. And the crane has the ability to see things from a different perspective, bird's eye view. Instead of just seeing what's in front of us or around us, the crane has that ability to see the whole picture. Now, if you want, float your foot off the ground. This is called flying balancing crane. And I just wanted to do this one as a great balance exercise. And the forms we're going over, we don't move our feet. So there's not a lot of balance, but I will always include balance in our class. And if that's too much, feel free to keep your toe on the ground. Nothing wrong with that if you're new to balance. But with the crane, we breathe in grace and beauty, inner stillness and patience. And let's do one more. And let's breathe in joy and happiness. Let's bring our wingtips to our belly. Now feel your spine. Let's shake our tail feathers, a little wiggle. The feet are duck-footed, so the toes point out a little bit. We'll do part 1, and then we'll add on. So this isn't a very long form, but this is called white crane spreads her wings. And we sink into the legs. We spread our wings, we fly, and then the fingers go to the sky. We pull our elbows in, and there's a push. And then we drop our fingers down. The hands or our wings come in front of the heart. We draw the hands in a little bit, and then we push. From here, we drop the fingers down. There's a little scoop as we bring the fingers up to the heart. And then we release our hands. The palms face out, fingertips to the waist. And we fold our wings. Now the palms face behind me. That's part 1. Bring your hands to your belly. Let's do that again. Let's inhale. And exhale. Inhale, we cross one hand in front of the other. bring it in towards the heart, and exhale. Inhale, draw it into your belly, into your heart, into your head, and let the hands release. Fingers to the waist without lifting your shoulders. Roll the wrists, palms face behind. Good. Let's do part 2. From here, our wings float overhead. And then we open our wings. The palms are up. We touch our thumb and first finger. So I'm going to come show you what that looks like. We make mudras. And we bring the mudras to the temple. And we bring wisdom. And there's a bend of the legs here. And then we rise up, we release. The palms go down. Let's roll the wrists up. Gather wisdom, bring it to your temples. Now, the temple loads are associated with memory. So I think we're stimulating our memory here. And then we rise up, one hand goes on top of the other. We reach up, and I'm on the balls of my feet. My heels are up. And then I bring heaven down into my belly. Hands touch the body, palms up. And then I squeeze my shoulder blades together. So my hands come apart. And then the hands come back together. I place one hand in the other, the thumbs touch. So both palms are up, finger or thumbs in the navel. Let's do part 3. Here we twist. So you imagine you're looking for your dinner. So we look down, or you can just not looking up and around, looking down, and we twist. And then we come back to center. So if you're a crane, here I live at the beach, we're looking for little fish or little crabs. But you might have egrets or herons where you live, and maybe they like to look for gophers. And I've seen them look for gophers. So we're looking for what nourishes us. We're twisting. And we twist one more time. And then we come back to center. And we use our hands as a little net. We scoop. We bring our hands to the heart. And now the white crane spreads her wings. So we separate and we soar. So one hand to the sky, one hand to the earth. The hands come back in front of the heart. They keep going, and we soar on the other side. Reach. Again, connecting yin and yang, bringing balance and harmony into our hearts. And let's do one more. And then the hands, the wingtips meet at the heart. They touch. Bring the hands in a little bit, and then we do that push like we did a little earlier. And we scoop, fingers down, bring it up to the heart, up to the mind, release, think. Let's fold our wings. Give your tail feathers a little shake. Shake your legs. We'll be spending more time on the white crane spreads her wings. But actually, we have a couple more minutes. Let's do part 2. So the palms are facing behind. And then we bring the hands up overhead, the wings, and then we open. And I'm sorry, I did that wrong. We come in front of us, and then we open, palms up, heart to the sky, look up, make the mudra, bring wisdom into your mind, think, release, palms down, roll the wrists, palms up, wisdom, proving memory, and then we release to heaven, up onto the balls of your foot, balance, and then think, bringing heavenly energy, your infinite potential right into your body. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then come to center. Let's twist. Looking for what nourishes us. Twist. One more time each side. And twist. Returning to center. The earth nourishes us. We bring in that wisdom of the earth, the yin energy, stillness, and we spread our wings up to the sky, down to the earth. Bend your knees as you come to the heart, and then stretch. Inhale, exhale, spread your wings. How are you going to spread your wings? Where are you going to go where you've never gone before? And then let's bring the hands to the heart. And then let's push away, pushing away the buts and what ifs. And we bathe ourselves with the energy of anything is possible. Release. Fingers up towards the waist. Let's roll our wrists, palms face behind. Let's close the form. Bathe yourself with the beauty and elegance of the crane. Let your hands rest on your belly and thank your body. And then let your hands come to your heart. We call this the heart mind in China. They don't think the heart and the mind are two different things. It's one thing, the heart mind. We'll talk more about this later. And then up into your third eye. This is our spiritual connection. And you can close your eyes and smile to your spirit and breathe in the light of your spirit. That is your uniqueness, your gifts, your potential, the best version of yourself. And then let's release it up as we surround ourselves with our own light. That's what we want to show the world. Bring your hands to the heart. Give yourself a little bow for coming and spending an hour with me today, learning some new things. I bow to you. Thank you so much. And that's our Tai Chi for today. And we have time for question and answers if you want to stick around. And if you don't, that's fine. I will record it and send it out. So if you want to, I'm going to put so I can see everybody. And oops. If you have comments or questions, you can either raise your hand or I'll check the chat to see if there was anything. I don't know. Hi, Elizabeth. Be sure to unmute you. Oh, thanks. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I was thinking more about what you said about so fire is connected to the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And so in finding balance, we're to balance the fire, are we using an opposing element to balance it or not necessarily?
Not this time, not in these forms. In others, yes, but not in this one. We are using our intention. So if we have too much, there's such a thing as too much excitement, and that's associated with the heart. A shock, if you fall or if you have a big shock in your life, that's associated with the heart. So we want to bring more joy, more calm, more patience is associated with the heart. So it's in other times, yes, I do bring in water to cool that fire down, but not so much where we evaporate the water. So yeah, but not in this particular form. We don't use, we just work with each element individually.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question, Jessica. So,
Yeah,
would you recommend doing the form every day or every other day, or how frequently?
I'd say it kind of depends on where you're at. If you're going through a hard time or you have unresolved issues in your life, and if you can name the emotion, yeah, why not? It's very beautiful. The more you know it, then today we just went over the movements and with a little bit of intention. But when it becomes muscle memory, and then you can move it, you can actually feel energy moving in and out of your body, and that will come. We will feel that first day, but Sure, why not? Why not do it every day? That's up to you. If you have the time and you have the desire, or if you just have, say, you have heartache, maybe we just do that part of it, and we push away the heartache and bring in joy and passion. So you can use them individually. I break them up. I always don't do the form as it is. I will, a lot of times in wintertime, I'll just do that gathering, letting go for the kidneys, the water, get more fearlessness, more trust and wisdom. So this form is not a strict form, and that's one of the reasons I like it. You can take parts of it that make sense to you and what you need.
Mm. Felt wonderful today.
Nice. I hope you feel good. I should have asked you how you feel. Yeah, maybe take a moment and just like, how do I feel? Peaceful, relaxed. Well, I'm glad. Okay. Well, Angel loves white crane spreads her wings. Yeah, that's really beautiful. That's a beautiful form. It's not very long, but it is really pretty. And everybody loves it. Everybody I've ever showed it to, they're like, ooh, let's do that. So,
Beautiful. The imagery is wonderful. Thank you, Jessica.
thank you. Who said that? Oh, well, thank you, whoever said that. Yeah, I'm known for my imagery. I love imagery. For me, it brings it alive. I love to be the crane. Ooh, who doesn't want to be graceful and beautiful?
Wonderful.
Jessica, it was really a beautiful practice, Jessica. Thank you. I was just curious, there's so many forms out there. And I know from the Taoist, and I was just wondering, is this a Taoist form or is this something specific from a different family?
I don't know the answer to that. Did I tell you how I learned it? I'm not sure if I told you how I learned it. Okay, well, this was a form I learned back in 2010, and it was given to me. It is a lineage-based form, and my doctor of Oriental medicine, who was my friend and the best doctor I ever had, she knew I loved Qigong. She said, you need to know this. You need to understand 5 element theory. You need to know how to heal emotions, because I'm a human. I've got emotions. And so she had learned it in the 70s when she was studying in London. And her master was a Chinese man, older man, like in his 70s, who had escaped China. So think of late 60s, 70s. He escaped during the Cultural Revolution, where he would have been persecuted. So that's all I know. She learned it. She didn't pass it along to anybody until me. And then, so now I'm the lineage holder for this one. And I have looked it up online and I did find it. But as far as if it's a Taoist practice, I don't know. It's one of the very few Tai Chis that are specific for healing emotional distress and for our organs, for organ health.
Thank you.
That's what I know. Hi, Ricardo. There you go.
Are there some do's and do not after the form? Like, can you eat right away 15 minutes after, or do you have to eat 30 minutes after?
I would play it by ear, see how you feel. The rule of thumb with Tai Chi and Qigong is that we don't eat for 2 hours beforehand. So we don't want to be full. And, if we eat a lot, then the energy doesn't move. It kind of gets stuck in our digestive system. So if you can, try not to eat too much before coming to class. And I think it's fine to eat afterwards, but maybe just enjoy the feeling that you have.
What about drinking water?
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Drink fluids. Absolutely. Yeah. Cheers.
Thank you.
Hi, Emily.
Hello.
Hello.
I love both of the, would you call them both forms? Okay. So my question is, are they connected in any way?
No.
They're very different, right?
One is a Tai Chi, and I had, oh, when Dr. Kathleen showed it to me, she's like, it's a Tai Chi. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a Qigong because we don't move our feet. And, you know, I get stubborn and she's like, no, it's a Tai Chi. And we went back and forth and I finally had to acquiesce. I mean, she learned it from her master. So it is a Tai Chi, but we don't move our feet. So that kind of tells me it's a Qigong, but the white crane spreads her wings is definitely a Qigong form. It's a newer form. It's 120 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was created by a woman. Most of the forms, we don't know their history. You know, they've just been passed down generations and generations. But this one, that white crane, is a new form and created by a woman, and we don't know her name. You know, as I read the Tao Te Ching passage, it was like, you know, do your work, let it go. It'll stand the test of time.
Yeah, well, they're lovely forms. I was just curious because you taught both of them today, and I didn't know if there was a connection because you were talking some about about emotions when we were doing, you know, your imagery for the white crane. So I wasn't sure. Okay, they're both lovely. I enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And why I wanted to teach them this summer is that I know that a lot of you are teachers, and these are really accessible forms. You'll see as we go along. I mean, there's only what 7 movements in the 5-element Tai Chi. There's only 7 things we do, and then in white crane, it's not very long. So, but there's no feet, so it's just upper arms, and then people can follow along really easily.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So then there's a few people here who are new to Qigong and Tai Chi. I hope that felt okay. Not too confused. Yay, Andy. Wow. So I didn't teach. I think I taught white crane spreads their wings in adult ed many years ago, but I never titled a class that. I would put it in with some Qigong. So I'm really thrilled. I love these 2 forms. They were 2 of the first ones I learned, and I learned a bunch since then, and I love coming back home. Any other questions? I don't want to keep you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, look forward to seeing you next week. And I will be sending out the recording. And, you know, just enjoy and be grateful. And aren't we lucky? Just remember how lucky we are. All right.
Thanks, Jessica.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.